EGM Network.
Welcome to the Lori Davis Show. Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, and welcome to the show. We are so glad that you're here with us today. Here in January, it's been a little chilly out there. Cindy, what do you think?
I'm with you. I am. I don't want to say I'm sick of it.
No,
but it's been different.
It's
been cold.
If the sun's not out, I think it's a little bit kind of chilly out there. But I think that's, we like it. But I always think about people that are visiting, and I know they come for the sunshine, but it's cool in the mornings, and then by the afternoon it's 75 degrees. So you enjoy it while you can. Yeah. This is the Lori Davis Show, where lifestyle meets Vero Beach. I am Lori Davis, your realtor for life with Dale Sorensen Real Estate. As I always say, people come here not just to buy homes and condos, but they come here for the lifestyle. And there's a lot of great things that are going on in this town. Every week, I try and give you a few fun things to go check out during the week, the upcoming week or coming weeks. We always have to talk about Riverside Theater. We love the productions they do over there. Mystic Pizza is playing over there. 80s and 90s musical. It's a great there. It's going through January 26th. So, and they have matinees, they have evening shows. It's always a lot of fun to do, especially if you have guests in town. Get on over there. Music in the Loop, that's free. Yeah. So you can go sit over in the Loop in the actual driveway. You can sit in the parking lot. Cindy and I, we always talk about just rolling up that cooler and a couple beach chairs. It's nice though. It's fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun, and it's a hoot with the other people that are there.
It is, and you know what? It's the acoustics are great. Because you don't have to be sitting right up there. You can be sitting across that little road, which I think is Live Oak still on that side by the museum. Great place to go. The Frog Leg Festival is this weekend. So if you're watching us, but we play at 5:30 on Saturdays, you can actually get to see it on Sunday. But for those of you that will see it on live stream and the other streaming services, it is Thursday to Sunday. And this is the 34th annual.
I can't believe that.
Yes. Okay. And it also holds the Guinness World Record as the largest frog leg festival in the world.
Yep.
Did you know that? I did not know that.
I knew it, and a real quick trivia, because I know we got to get to the guest, is when they first started, they sent one of their T-shirts. So each year it's a different T-shirt.
Okay. Yeah.
They sent one of the T-shirts to Al Roker. I think I'm saying the right thing on the Today Show.
I used to laugh.
And they on the Today Show were like, "What in the world is going on down there?" And they sent somebody down, and they got unbelievable publicity from it, free for that T-shirt.
I'm telling you, it's amazing.
Using your noggin there.
That's true. Now I moved here in 2000. My parents moved up here in 1997. So Jim and I and James, our son, used to come down to Vero before we even moved here. And I remember going out there. Now I was kind of, I'm a city girl, like Atlanta, New York, whatever. It's like Frog Leg Festival. I know. So much fun. It is. So much fun. Yeah. There's frog legs. There's gator tail. There's rides. I mean, there's all sorts of food. You don't have to eat the frog legs, but it is a good time. So check online for dates and times to get out there. Sunday the 19th, Sebastian Riverfront Fine Art and Music Festival. I love Riverview Park. I always talk about it. I'm a big proponent. It's that one park that they have right there by 512 on the river. And that's where they do all their festivals there. It's a great spot. There's lots of parking. It's just a wonderful thing to do. And then Thursday, January 23rd, an evening with Dave Barry. Cindy, are you going to go? Dave Barry. He's
a hoot and a half.
He is. He's a nationally syndicated humor columnist. Yes. He wrote for the Miami Herald from 1983 to 2005. And very similar to Carl Hyacin. That was at Florida. They'd write these stories that are like, if we told you this was true, you wouldn't believe us, but it's really true. Yeah. So this is going to be at the community center, at the community church. And there's an in-person intro by Carl Hyacin.
Oh, that's double trouble right there.
I had a client who bought tickets, and she said, "Would you come with me?" I said, "Absolutely." Yeah. So I had to mention it because that's next Thursday, the 23rd. Okay. But you can still get tickets, LauraWritingJackson.org. So that's the organization. Yeah. Tickets are $55. I think there's still some available. I thought that would be fun. And then for the opera people, we've got Aida. the Metropolitan Opera at the Majestic Theater, 12 to noon to 3 p.m. on January 25th. Again, check online, call Majestic, and find out about that. Thank you, Chef Scott Verricchio. He always, at Citrus Grill House, he always provides us with an adult beverage. Today's adult beverage is a Kentucky Mule. It's bourbon, ginger beer, and it is absolutely delicious. I'm not a Moscow Mule. Yeah, one of our guests is having one, and he's quite liking it. He's got lip smacking over there, and he doesn't even like bourbon. So this is bourbon and ginger beer, and they had it provided it for us one show prior, and it's really very good. I don't know. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. And you get that pretty cup. I mean, you got that whole cup thing. You know, everybody knows you're having a mule. Plus, I think it keeps it colder. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's all in my head.
And the cup is good for your system. That's what I tell myself.
Is the cup?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a ginger beer.
Well, that too.
Ginger ale's good for your stomach.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, 1050 Easter Lily Lane. You guys know where Citrus Grill House. If you don't, it's the restaurant right on the ocean, right next to Humiston Park. It is right there on the ocean. They're open Monday to Saturday. You can go for lunch or dinner. It's fabulous food. If it's not fresh, they're not serving it. He gets fish in every single day. Staff there is great. We love it. Thank you, Chef Scott. Go on over and see Citrus Grill House. Tell them Lori Davis sent you. Now to my guest. Most everyone has heard of the amazing national organization called Habitat for Humanity. We're fortunate enough to have an amazing chapter in our community. Today, our guests are Rick Hahn, the board chair for Habitat, and Trevor Loomis, president and CEO of the organization. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, Lori.
See, I get that. The applause, we got it all in there. I'm going to ask the same question for each of you because it's just a matter of, what is it? How did you, Trevor, I'll start with you. How did your personal journey, how did you end up getting involved with Habitat for Humanity?
Sure. Well, I am retired from the Army.
Okay.
And that was my first career. When I left the Army, I was started working. I was doing graduate school research on homeless veterans with PTSD. And one of the things that I saw so often is that programs and services around housing, not necessarily housing, but those sort of services, required no buy-in from the people receiving the services.
Sure.
The services are there, people can take them, but there's no impetus for them to do better. And so after a number of years, I was working in housing, nonprofit sector and the government sector, and I came across Habitat. And I started working with Habitat. And the thing that is so much different about what we do is the fact that there is buy-in from the people. We don't hand out anything. We don't give out anything. There is, it's a hand up more than a hand out. Right. And people are required to work for what they get. There's repayment.
Yes.
We are essentially providing access to capital and opportunities for people that have trouble achieving those things on their own.
Sure.
And it is transformative. When you provide people with opportunities, they can take off.
Exactly.
And that's really what it's all about for me.
I think, Habitat, I've been involved in some of them through the Realtor Association and Dale Sorensen Real Estate, and just like you've got another one that's good that we're going to talk about later about Women in Build Project. There's just a lot of opportunity there. But I think, again, when you've ever been around a family or even whether it's a woman, a man, a family with kids, it doesn't matter. Whoever it is that has that opportunity, they are so, their gratitude is overwhelming, and I think it's contagious as well. So I think that's really great. Rick, tell us how you ended up working with the Habitat for Humanity.
Well, if I go back to my roots, I started out as a boat builder with my dad after he retired from the Navy, and I quickly graduated to building houses in the Florida Keys in the 80s, paid for college.
Yeah, nice.
It got me through college, and years later, children, marriage, a long gap actually between that, and it was probably around middle 90s, and church I joined up in Georgia, in Duluth, Georgia. Subject came up one day from another individual who I didn't know was actually officiated was involved with Habitat, and he just asked me if I've ever worked with a hammer or nails, and after that, I kind of had to say yes to that. And
Yeah.
I ended up building
He was
walls.
a church guy.
Yeah.
There's no lying here,
A
right?
year later, I was a foreman for him building walls, and
no kidding.
ironically, I was involved with a group of women, mostly building the walls remotely. We had a unique build process up there because the ground isn't very level in Georgia, so
Right.
we'd use a gymnasium concrete floor to build the walls, and then we'd haul them to the sites.
Interesting.
Yeah, you have to improvise, but that and kind of another factor that kind of drove me into Habitat is once I found out what they were about. My father was a big sweat equity kind of guy. He made me sweat through everything I ever bought.
Yes, exactly.
So, that, and he says you help people that help themselves.
It makes a difference. It really does. When you got that sweat equity in there. And I think that's why, too, there are people who are really encouraged and very gracious with their funding because of that factor. We're not just giving houses away, but you actually have to invest some of your time.
Yeah, that philanthropy is strong through this area as well.
Oh, my God. Vero Beach is amazing. They are. And, I talk about that because it's the same people all the time, too. We see them and they, and they step up every time. I know one of the things that we're going to talk about, I'll wait till we get through that. Trevor, can walk us through the process of how a family is selected for a Habitat house?
Sure.
And
so essentially, the home buyers come first with us. Now, we have multiple programs. We build new homes, we renovate homes, and we also have a home repair program. They operate a little bit differently, but for a new home, a person can come to us, and it essentially looks a lot like applying for a mortgage, because that's what it is.
Sure.
So we evaluate people based on three things: based on their need, their ability to pay, and their willingness to be a good partner. And so these days, the need is it's pretty much everybody. Let's be honest with it, right? So we don't have to worry about things like overcrowding because it exists. Substandard conditions, they exist. But the real need is that the cost of housing here is outrageous.
It is.
Particularly as it comes to the workforce and most of the people that we're interacting with every day. 60+% of this county's population is cost burdened when it comes to their housing.
It is.
Right. And when you consider how many people of substantial means are here, the reality is that of the most of the workforce is overwhelmingly cost burdened.
Absolutely.
So people come to us, they fill out an application, and it is essentially a mortgage application. And we go through that and we look for income, debts and expenses, and underwrite them just the same as a bank would. In fact, we're probably more stringent about that. We have higher requirements because we have higher risk.
Yes.
As the we're the developer, builder, realtor, lender, mortgage servicer. We do all of it comprehensively, and then willingness to partner is we're looking at having a relationship with a family for 30 years.
Right.
So it goes
true.
far beyond building a house and selling a house. We then expect that we're going to have a relationship for decades, or as long as that family lives in that house. So. So that they apply. If they meet the criteria and they are mortgage ready, then our board of directors reviews their application, and they can be accepted into the program. And from there, they begin working sweat equity. 300 hours of sweat equity, which is substantial. If you think about how long is 300 hours,
that's right.
It's a lot of time.
40 hours a week, so that's
people
a lot of time.
work. On average, it takes about 2 years to work through our program. Some people do it very quickly. Some people do it a little slower. But on average, it's about 2 years. But we have far more need than we can possibly build houses.
Is that right?
So people are generally ready faster than we are ready for them.
Okay.
In most cases, but by the time we're ready to build a house, about 6 months later, they're ready to move in.
That's fantastic.
And they receive an interest-free, cost-effective loan based on their income and their ability to pay.
Exactly. Rick, with now you've got a project. It's called Women in Build Project.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. That's coming up here in March.
Yes, there's the next one is coming up March because there'll be plenty after that, I hope. Actually, an interesting program. It started in 91, if I remember the Habitat history books right. And it was actually women initiated themselves back in 91. And then the Carters made it formal in around 96, 97. And then it became a regular cadence and part of the Habitat International program after that.
Right.
And yes, indeed, we have it coming up here in March. What's the date?
March the 13th.
March the 13th, yes. And, it's a great experience. My wife has done it in the past, and she was hoping to do it again this time. You are there with a lot of the foremen are actually women as well. So it's a great environment where you don't feel necessarily peer pressure about, well, gee, I've never swung a hammer. You really don't.
Right.
I mean, I've worked with a number of these women, and obviously you want to work up to power saws and things like that, but it's a great experience for people. And it's an outdoor experience, and you get the fellowship.
Yes,
working
it is a
with
fellowship.
other women who share your interest.
Yes. Now, I did one time, and they gave me the tool because they frame a wall, and then you put the board up, and then you cut out the window with whatever that saw is called. It was the coolest thing. I was like, oh, I love power tools. It was so much fun. It was great. I thought it was fantastic. Now, how would somebody get involved in that? Do they call the organization? How do they sign up?
Yeah, I would actually, as far as
Do we know,
that handles
Trevor?
that directly.
Sure, you can call our number and ask for Jamie Wallace, or you can go to irchabitat.org and click on Women Build and go ahead and you can start
Sign
a
up
team.
there.
You can join a team with one of our ambassadors and get started that way.
Very good. I wanted to say the phone number is 772-562-9860, and that was irchabitat.org. I'll give you that again in the end. Trevor, Milton came through with a hurricane and a tornado, and there was a lot going on, and there's a lot of homes and a lot of people in homes that needed help, and you guys stepped up in a big way. Tell us what Habitat is involved in that disaster relief.
Well, I mean, the storm really showed what a wonderful community we have, and how it's very much an all hands on deck situation to help our neighbors in need. We began that week. We were closed because our office and our restore had no power.
Right.
But all of our staff wanted to work and get involved. So we started going around neighborhoods, tarping roofs, making sure that homes were watertight and people could stay there whenever possible.
Right.
And then we started the long-term recovery efforts. So we've currently got 19 homes in progress.
Yeah.
We're doing critical repairs for people who don't have homeowners insurance,
Right.
or are critically underinsured,
Yes.
have been denied by insurance companies. That's happening quite a bit
More and more
as well. So, we've partnered with a number of local agencies. The United Way has helped us with funding.
Sure.
The Johns Island Foundation has helped us with funding. Habitat for Humanity of Florida, Bank of America, the Church of Latter-day Saints has just stepped in with some funding. So we're able to address those needs. So if homeowners have experienced storm damage and they're having trouble, getting those repairs, if they are having trouble with insurance, give us a call. We've got the ability, we've got the funding to come and step in and help. I'll give you an example. There's a couple that we're working with. They are 88 and 89 years old. They live in the Highlands.
Yeah.
The entire back half of their house was ripped off. The roof was peeled back. They were obviously, windows broken, doors pulled out.
Oh my God.
They were both injured pretty seriously from broken glass.
Wow.
They had to leave the house. They've been living with their daughter, I think. Yeah. And it took us a little while to get things lined up, but I can tell you that the roof's been replaced. The house has been dried in. We're working through the interior, and they'll be back in that house within a matter of a week or two.
That's amazing.
And at that age, they had lived in the house for 55 years.
Sure.
And this is the first year they decided to roll the dice because the insurance got too expensive.
Yeah. You went uninsured.
And they lost.
That's
And
it.
they lost.
That's
But
it.
fortunately, because of the funding that we've been able to receive and the resources we have, we've been able to help them and a number of other families like them.
That's fantastic. Listen, we pay for this by doing a commercial. We'll be right back in 2 minutes with Habitat for Humanity. We'll find out how you guys can get involved. We'll be back in a minute. See you in a minute.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio. Vendors, come be a part of the Downtown Country Hoedown, a big old gathering of folks with a hankering for what you're selling. We've got space for you, vendors. We've got live country music that'll have you scooting your boots on the street, plus midway games, a mechanical bull, line dancing, beer, food contests, and prizes. All we're missing is you. Vendors, join us at the Downtown Country Hoedown, Friday, January 31st in downtown Vero Beach. Contact Evergreen Media at egreenmedia.com.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Ooh, have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
Okay, we are back with Rick and Trevor from Habitat for Humanity. Rick, you were saying you wanted to dovetail off of his conversation about doing repairs versus building full homes.
Yeah, one thing about the repairs, we're really good at it, and Trevor kind of alluded to that. We put canvases on top of these houses in very short order, get these people back in their homes, at least temporarily, while they dealt with the problems they're going to have with these homes. But one reason we're good at that is it's a big part of our business anyway. I mean, we don't just put people in homes; we keep people in homes. There's a lot of people that are on the edge out there.
Right,
they live. Not necessarily paycheck to paycheck, but a lot of veterans, retirees, and they're on a fixed income. And as you know, the price of houses continues to rise. The price of the insurance continues to rise. And they're all feeling the pinch. And this couple he mentioned earlier is a perfect example of that.
Exactly.
They wanted to stay in their home. So we already do this, and that's an important fact. I mean, Trevor can attest to the number of houses we've done just in that are repairs as opposed to new builds.
Right. What was that number? You said 107?
We did 107 critical home repairs last year.
That's amazing. Now, tell me about, you need people. How do people get involved and help out? What can they do?
Absolutely. I mean, we need volunteers desperately, whether that is, on the build site, which is probably our most critical need right now. We're building in 5 different locations around the county. Yeah. You can go to irchabitat.org/volunteer. But if you want to be inside, come to the restore. We actually have more volunteers in our restore every year, more volunteer hours done in the restore than we do in construction.
Really?
Yes.
Well, and I think there's a lot of people that are retired, but they're not really, they want to do something, right? And so that guy or even that woman, right? I mean, and one of the most important things you mentioned was showing up. We need you just consistent, like once a week, maybe a couple days a week. If you're available on Thursdays. I mean, do you work them? Is it a 9 to 5 type job, or?
Oh, well, construction starts at 7:30 in the morning, and it's usually wrapped up before lunchtime. Because of the heat.
All right,
and
that's
so
true.
it's a great opportunity for folks to get out, stay physically fit, and do that. 40,000 volunteer hours this year is what we expect to utilize.
That's amazing, and that's in 2025. You guys, thank you so much for coming. Habitat for Humanity, Indian River County. We love you guys. You do so much for the community.
Thank you for having us.
You guys need to get out there.
Laurie.
You're welcome. Indian River County Habitat.org or 772-562-9860. Rick Hahn, Trevor Loomis, thank you for being here. We could do a show for an hour. We'll get you guys back in a couple months. Good luck with everything. And guys, please do call Habitat and donate your time, your money, and we'll see you soon. See you here next week. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon, and be safe out there. Bye-bye.